Well, hey, y'all.
Hello.
Happy Thursday.
Happy pre-Friday.
Right. Some of us still have to work tomorrow.
You do. That's okay, honey.
I like 3-day weekends. What are you talking about?
We had a
4-day weekend.
We had a big 4-day weekend last week. But this is.
Hopefully, all you had a nice Thanksgiving.
I know, and
on the American side.
That's right. And got to enjoy.
Canadians, yours was back in October.
We got to double dip a little bit. Yeah, so enjoy some family and friends, which is nice. I'm Colleen.
I'm Johnny.
And this is episode 6. Honey,
halfway to 12.
We're 6 of backcountry couples. So excited for that. Yeah, John already got in there with the Thanksgiving stuff, which was awesome. So I feel like everybody had a good time. I was watching people's like little Instagrams and stuff like that. Doc, who was in the chat, he said, did you see me wave on the way by? Because he drove through Grand Rapids. Right on his way up to Muskegon to see some family. So that's really awesome.
So he waved on the way back.
So there you go. It was awesome to see you. I wanted to say thank you for all the fabulous birthday wishes that I got.
Yep.
So I got lots on Instagram and personal messages and Facebook.
Princess was all high.
You stop it.
Look at all my birthday cards. Oh, you see my pretty flowers.
I made out okay, which is all right. So the big 5-6. Whoop whoop.
Halfway to 112.
That I don't think I want to have the halfway to 112. I'm just saying.
Johnny.
And I'm not going to talk like that. Get out of here. It was also a special weekend last weekend. And we have a special message to our Ohio friends.
Ha!
Go Blue! Couldn't wait for that. I'm sorry. We totally had to say that.
Oh yeah. Hail to the.
I know it was pretty. We had some kind of fun stuff going.
Oh, the
back and forth with some of our Ohio friends. So
we almost lost some.
Our team won, and we have bragging rights for 1 year. So we're happy about that, which is kind of fun.
We got bragging rights for more than that.
Do we? Yeah. So we'll see. The other thing we have is. Obviously, you've all met Rue McHenrick from the American Perimeter Trail. Blah, blah, blah.
Spit that up.
I know. So they've been on the show twice, and he was in Michigan.
Right.
So
he was visiting. He was doing some research and visiting our local REI here in Grand Rapids.
Yeah.
Promoting the American Perimeter Trail loop, and he was staying up, shacking up over there with Buck. Not Huck.
That's
Buck.
Okay. With Buck. Yeah.
With Buck.
And Buck created a shelter for the
really
North Country
cool
Trail.
Shelter. Little awesome hostel. Not hostel.
And so not only is it on the North Country Trail, it's also on the American Perimeter Trail, but it's the official first shelter on the APT. So that was really cool. Anyways, we got to go out there and meet them and just kind of see what was going on and kind of the progress that was happening with that. There's been a lot of news, right? And
are you going to tell them the name of it?
Oh, yeah. So, the shelter.
Yeah.
So the shelter is an old corn bin.
Yeah, it's kind of like back in the day, people, families would store all their,
their grain and everything in there. Yeah.
So that would sustain them through the year. So
yeah,
it's kind of like they're kind of their money crop, kind of.
Right,
so to speak.
Right. So it's called bin walking.
Bin walking.
So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. So just a real quick side note, Buck met up with the NCT people.
Yeah.
And they actually.
Where's all my things?
Moved the NCT trail.
They did. So he petitioned to make it so the
actual trail goes right by their home in where their shelter is at, which is super cool. And everybody was on board.
It is. So that was really cool to see him. So we're excited and we're going to share and follow along on what he has happening, which is really good. One quick thing, honey, where'd all my little things go that were down there? All my little movies and my little pictures.
I'll pull them up later.
Okay, well, I have one. So if you can pull up this
one.
Yep.
Okay.
So we have this Sunday. Oh, there it is there, honey, right there. So 0819.
Got it.
So this Sunday, everybody get ready for this. Who do we have in here?
Carlson's in there.
All right. Okay, so Tangent hashtags in. All right. So I don't see Devin yet. Anyways, this Sunday, Outside Comfort Zone. So I don't know if you've been following along. So Snack Box from Outside Comfort Zone is doing a it's a fantasy draft. So he's been getting channels to kind of get together. Last week they talked about their fantasy trails. So this Sunday
it should say cheap gear and cheaper jokes.
And cheaper. That's true. But we know Snack Box is like that, which is awesome. So he's hosting a fantasy league, but this time it's gear under $500. Which
under $100
or under 100. What did I say?
500.
Oh, 500.
Well, that's
only because I did say it was like, really? There's gear under $100? Like, come on. So anyways, we know that. So excited for that. So that is right. So it's going to be with hashtag. So Tangent Trails. It's going to be with Devin, Salmon Outdoors, and us. So tune in.
The cool kids.
7 p.m.
Cool in the game.
Eastern Standard Time. It's on his channel. And then we'll start sharing it out tomorrow. So we get a good group of people to do that, which is awesome. And wow, like news. I like this. I know, right? News at 7.
Jinx.
And you want me a Coke? Anyways, the other fun thing we have going on is it's that time again. So it's the 12 days of Christmas, right? It's the 3rd annual 12 days of Christmas giveaway.
And we're very, very happy to be part of it again.
Yeah, we are. So kind of exciting. So basically follow along again on YouTube, on Instagram. We're
watch for the posts and stuff like that.
12 channels are launching December the 12th at noon. So you're going to see a mass like boom of explosive
video dump.
Pretty much, right? Which is exciting. So, but here's the list. Okay. I had to write down. I couldn't remember them all. It's all terrain, coffee, and camping.
Who's in the chat?
He is Rob Pelton, Andy Parrish Outdoors, Huck Outdoors, Everyday Backpacker, John Kelly, In Our Element, Miyagi and Trips.
He's here too.
Lost Again with Jim, Southern Hike, Backcountry Pilgrim, and us. So what you need to do is head on to those people's channels, right? Make sure you subscribe and check them out, all that kind of stuff. But why don't you look around? Because
check them out, hook them up.
Right. So these are 12 chances to win some pretty awesome gear, and it's very diverse. So I'm excited.
Just ask Doc Watson.
Because he wins it all. But anyway,
he's 2 years running.
On
our channel.
On our channel. I know he's a pretty lucky guy. We know that. So thank you for tuning in this week. And thanks for everybody who shares this out every week as well. We really appreciate that.
Absolutely. So first and another big thing, we always like to thank our sponsor of the show, Mickwick Fire Starters.
That's right.
The awesome ultralight, all natural, burn for 20 minutes fire starters.
Boom! There you go.
Bam.
And they come in cool colors too, just saying.
Yeah, they come in maize and blue.
They do. And we are actually coming up with the Keel Quest little thingy.
We have to,
I know we have to firm that up, which is awesome. But every backcountry couple does get a really cool Mickwick little giveaway package with a sticker. So we're excited to share that and how awesome they are. You get a little KK sticker too. So look forward to that.
So if you want to know more about them, stuff like that, just head over to mickwickfires.com. And then any of they have fire starters. He has coffee now. A smoked
I got one.
Medium roast coffee. It's delicious.
It is so delicious.
I mean, you definitely tell, you can smell and the aroma and taste the smoke.
It's really nice.
And it's very, very mild.
Kind of.
So, but you also go over there and on anything, so the swag, fire starters, the coffee, use the code KeelQuest.
Yes.
2 words. Make sure you put that little space right there.
He's so good at that. I love it. Sorry.
Bink. Get 15% off. So
yes, I love it. So
it's a good deal.
It is. And everybody who's in the chat, I believe a lot have obviously used them and I'm swear by them, which is great. Anyways, we love you, Patrick. Thank you so much for letting us share out your awesome product, which is really cool. Let's go back to the chat, honey. Can we see who's in here?
We have a few people in the chat.
We do. All right. Let's see.
So we saw.
He's got the other computer up this way, which is awesome.
I know. I am.
Right from the beginning.
Oh, Doc was here.
Hi, Doc.
Hashtag. Was here. All Terrain Coffee.
I
and
like it
camping.
when people have a trail name. I'm so excited.
Yeah, you do.
I do.
Tink.
Yippers.
Who else is here? Carlson Adventure.
I thought we're going fast. Those who
who
glamp together. That's
is here.
nice. Nice to
Darren
see
Davidson.
you.
Hey,
Hey, Darren.
Miyagi.
Hey. Say hi to Ships for us, please, my friend.
Yep.
Mom.
Yep, my mom's here. Hi, Mom.
Hello. Did we say Jason was in the house? All terrain, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Oh, Mike. Hey, Mike. How you doing? Nice to see you.
With Mike.
Right.
Mike likes to hike.
Mike likes to. Troy. Oh, nice to see you, hon. Thank you.
Snack box.
Oh, James is in the house. James was the winner of our contest that we had at the giveaway we had on Canoe Hound.
Yes.
So it's the flintlock right there. That's awesome. I just saw that you said that you used him in your video. It was a sweet product.
Yeah.
Good job.
Raven flintlock.
That's really cool. Thank you, Jimmy J.
Oh, Jacqueline. Hey, Jackie.
Whoop. Jackie, hi. Love it.
Hey,
and
Troy.
wait a minute. One more I just saw too.
Troy.
Did you say hi to Snack Box?
Yes, I did.
Hi.
Like 5 minutes ago.
We just talked about the giveaway, or not giveaway, not a giveaway on Sunday. We just talked about what's the live stream on Sunday. Excited for that.
All right.
So welcome to Backcountry Couples. Was it Backcountry Couple, honey?
Us.
We are, yeah. But
People who like to get out.
yeah, and it doesn't have to be romantic because in January we do have a surprise coming for people. But it's just two people who love to get out and venture together. If
Who
you
like to
know,
paddle, track, camp, or overland.
that's right. And if there's something we're missing, I don't know. We've had some fishing people on before.
Oh yeah.
We've never had a diving couple on. I think that would be kind of cool.
I will work on that.
Yeah, so I feel like that could be kind of fun. And
I'm going diving next month.
you are. And then next month because December 1st. Oh my God, I can't believe it. I know it's crazy. I know. So, but on that note, we have been getting lots of people who were interested in coming on the show, which is awesome, and we love that. But we are booking into February now, which is amazing. So excited for that and the support that everybody is doing. I know, I love it. And if you like what you see and like hanging out with us,
make sure you tell all your friends, hit that little red subscribe button and ding that little bell.
Yeah.
So when the lovely darling posts something, y'all to see it.
Right. Absolutely. And again, so our chats are usually really good and really interactive. So if you have
really good.
they're so good. They're so awesome. Good. If you have a question for our couple tonight,
make sure you put the word question all in capital letters over on the side of the chat. Oops, that wrong way. That way. On that side of the chat.
Don't be on that side.
So I will see it, and then when I have a chance to bring it up, I'll pop up the question.
Okay. Do we have? I think I gave you the link, honey. We might try that. I know we've been
priorities.
It was a little bit of a brush today.
Oh, hey Ben, how you doing,
we're
buddy?
All good. Ben's. Hi, welcome everybody.
Girl plus dog.
Details in the house. Awesome. So
the little one must be taking a nap.
Augie. So cute. Anyway, we are excited because it sucks when we miss a week. Obviously we were with family and friends and all that fun kind of stuff, but it's good to be back and it's good to share out again. And this week is no different.
No.
So I'd like to share with who we have on, honey.
By all
means.
Can I do
it? All right. Are you ready? So tonight's backcountry couple are two empty nesters who sold their home, bought a van to reconnect and rediscover their relationship on the road. Their three best sounds are, and I love this, anchor chains, plane engines, and train whistles. That's a true story. Like, that is so good. And I love their motto. It's, you're never too old for new adventures. Is that like teaching an old dog new tricks kind of thing? I don't know, but I like that.
Something like that.
So welcome from the West Coast, the Empty Nest Project, Will and Lisa.
Hey guys.
Hi.
Hi everyone.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having us on.
Absolutely.
You are so welcome.
I got lots to chat about.
I gotta say, after your introduction, I have to try this this smoked coffee. It sounds excellent.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
100%. It's so good. And he's from the Pacific Northwest too. That's where they are. So
Yeah,
absolutely.
he's just literally a stone throw away from y'all to the east.
Yep.
Oh, awesome.
Yep, for sure. So well, and happy belated birthday to you, Will. You had a birthday a couple weeks ago.
I did. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
And you were in Canada, I think, celebrating it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We were over visiting my dad and my parents, and then I was like, and you were in Canada too, the same on Remembrance Day weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy over there, right? For the long weekend. Oh, I'm sure.
It was so busy. I didn't expect that.
Oh, you expect it every time you go over to Canada. They make up these holidays so they can have it all the time.
It's called work-life balance, honey.
There you go. I love it.
Right. So how did you two meet and get together?
So we were both single parents, and we met. I had just started a new job. I was a brand new nurse, and I met Lisa at work. She wasn't a nurse at the time, but she worked at the hospital. And do you have anything else to add?
Yeah. I was a housekeeper at the hospital, and I was scheduled to work in the ER one day because someone called in sick, and this guy kept talking to me the whole day. And I was like, why is he talking to me? And then he asked me to go to a concert, but he said, my friend and I are going to a concert. Do you want to go? And I was like, weirdo. But I went home and told my friend who also worked there, and she was like, I knew that guy liked you. He's been asking about you.
Yeah, she turned me down the first time I asked her out. So
then we ended up going out, and we got married eventually.
The rest is history. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that's cool. Lisa's story's way better than yours.
yeah,
Just saying.
that's usually the way it goes. So.
I know, right? Oh my gosh.
So growing up, were you guys outdoorsy?
I guess my family would always go camping, but mostly like what people consider car camping.
Sure.
As far as the backpacking goes, that's something relatively new to us. But I guess I've always enjoyed the outdoors, usually like involving some kind of sporting activities, whether it be snowboarding, skateboarding, or biking. And I was in the Army before I became a nurse, so did a little bit of camping, obviously in that sense, a little bit different, but
Sure.
Right.
had to carry some stuff on my back. And so yeah, I guess I've always been a little bit outdoorsy.
Yeah, I would say I was outdoorsy in the sense that all summer I was outside in my bare feet.
I love it.
Okay.
But we were pretty broke when I was growing up, and we like a lot of time we didn't have a car, so we didn't really go places. And I think that's like a big part of my sense of adventure as an adult. Like as a couple, we took our kids camping pretty regularly, and I think I just really wanted to go do all those things that, I never did growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then, so you guys get together and you're just like, did you do any outdoor dates or anything like that to realize that you both liked the outdoors together?
Well, I think we started hiking together a little bit later in our relationship. It seemed like we would try to find things that we enjoyed together. Obviously, we were great parents together. We did a great job parenting our kids.
Obviously.
And we
100%. Come on.
But when it came to like leisure activity, it seemed like I was interested in some things that Lisa wasn't interested in, vice versa. Or we would try certain things and maybe I liked it or excelled at it and Lisa didn't, or vice versa. And it wasn't until we found hiking where it was like, oh, this is something we both can do. We can spend time together. And it ended up being a good way for us to reconnect and find an activity that we could both get behind.
Yeah, Will grew up when he says he grew up skateboarding, he like really grew up skateboarding. Like when he was 15, him and his friends built a ramp that was like
a half pipe kind of thing or something.
No,
vert.
Yeah,
it's called a vert.
Okay, that's cool.
Ramp, yeah. So like me, I did not do stuff like that growing up. So I was like more intimidated by the outdoorsy things. So we tried things together. Like we took tennis lessons together. and I was terrible.
Oh.
We tried bike riding, and I still don't like bike riding.
Okay.
But the hiking was really like, we were like, oh, we can both enjoy
We
this.
love this together for
Yeah.
sure.
Cool.
I know. We always love how to say how we found you. And when we, at the beginning of the season, we did like a little bit of a shout out, made a little video and said, hey, you know, looking for people to start the season. And my, anyways, our friend Jason, who's in the chat tonight, who was from All Terrain Camping and Coffee, he sent us your link and like, you need to check these two out.
Oh, thanks.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Jason.
right. So he's like, he passed you guys along, and obviously we were just like, we need to connect with these two,
Oh yeah.
right? And then we just started connecting, and here we are, which is kind of fun. So before we came on, you talked about, you know, the YouTube thing. So
Right.
you took the YouTube leap plunge.
Why?
Yeah, we're total YouTube novices. We have no idea what we're doing.
Yeah, I think when we started some of our adventure-seeking activities, like when we tried to when we converted the van into a camper van, we were getting a lot of our information and inspiration from watching these other couples do the same thing, and we found that most of everyone we were watching were all in their 20s and young and active, and we thought there's no one like us doing it, or we couldn't find anyone our age taking that type of step. So we tried to fill that. We thought there was a space we could fill, showing what it looks like to be older and still be adventurous and still like do these new things.
Yeah, I think it's interesting being like this kind of age, because I was a very young parent. I'll admit, my oldest is 27. And so I got pregnant when I was like 16.
Got you.
So being an adult, like being this age and having adult children, like we're kind of in this weird place where everybody else our age has school age children. And so we want to go do adventure things. And then when you're on YouTube, the algorithm is like, here's these like 28-year-olds doing the adventure things. And it's fine. It's great. Love it. But also I'm like, where are the people our age?
They're out there.
Yeah, I'm trying. That's what we're trying to find is the people.
I know. But did you come up with the name first?
Well, we kind of how did we kind of came up with the name because we were just like, you know, we are empty nesters, and I didn't want it to be closed into just the van because that's what we started with.
Good idea.
Sure.
And I didn't want it to be like van life because I have a lot of adventures I need to do.
Right.
Sure.
Right on.
I mean,
we
the
thought
bucket list is
projects
long.
would be like open-ended, and we could
I think that was actually pretty wise. I like that for sure. And how long have you had the YouTube channel for?
Did we start it last year?
When did we move in the
What
van?
is time during a pandemic? I don't know. I think it was last year.
Yeah.
Okay. So like, a year before us kind of thing. So I know it's crazy busy. So you guys backpack. We got the van life going on.
Right.
We're hiking. Right. Like there's.
What inspired you to do a van build?
I always
He's been wanting forever.
I've always wanted like one of those Volkswagen vans, and it's just something I always wanted. And it's interesting because you have a Subaru Outback vehicle or a vehicle for outdoor stuff. And in the pandemic, when there wasn't much to do, I had a Subaru Outback, and I built a platform bed, and we kind of turned that into like a little camping vehicle. And we joke and say that's the gateway to van life. Like once we did that, and Lisa loved it, and I said,
love it.
Let's get a van. There's so much more room. So
it was challenging when everything was closed, and we had already started hiking a lot, and all the trails in Southern California were closed also, so we couldn't go hiking. And I was like, let's just drive and sleep in the Subaru somewhere.
We would go to trailheads and wake up in the morning and do little hikes. And
I love that.
Yeah.
That's a great start.
Yep.
How did you guys decide on what van you want to get? Because when we were traveling, we've seen so many of the what do you call those? Sprinter vans. Yeah.
What we could afford.
Right?
Yeah. So part of our whole transition to this lifestyle was and if you saw the introduction to our video, I think it's mentioned, but by selling our house, we paid off all our debt, and by living debt free, we were able to, focus more on the work-life balance. And actually, I was looking at a van that was more expensive, and my wife convinced me that we should get one we could afford to pay
I
outright.
like you, Lisa. That's good.
Yeah.
Which we did, and it's been
Hey.
awesome.
Well, like, because I just was really like, we don't have any debt. I don't want to go back into
Right.
debt to do this.
No.
So we'll just
No, it's
buy it
yeah.
outright.
It's
100,
amazing.
100% agree with you.
Right. So
And I think we got in right on time too, because it seemed like they were starting to get hard to find. But when I bought our van, there was still a fair amount available. But now I think I feel like they're
so expensive now.
right.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're off the hook.
Yeah, it's kind of nuts. So you ended up going with a
Ford E150.
E150.
Is that 4-wheel drive?
No, it's 2-wheel drive.
Okay.
I did put some all-terrain and all-weather tires, which has been helpful, but it's definitely not 4-wheel drive.
Okay.
And I know you can upgrade them to 4-wheel drive, but because of the miles that are on it, I wasn't sure how much money I wanted to sink into it.
Oh yeah, that's totally understandable.
Right. Show everybody the picture of the van, honey. It's
Yeah,
so cool.
let's bring that up to
Because not only is it
0816.
you two, I mean, you've got a puppy dog,
Oh yeah.
so that's a sweet looking van.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
Red.
Right. And there's Teddy. You can see him laying on the floor there.
Yeah.
On the ground, not the floor. Sorry.
He's on the ground.
So
Yeah.
how did you decide you were going to utilize the space?
Just a lot of
A lot
research,
of videos.
a lot
We
of
watched
videos.
so many van build videos, and
yeah.
I think we had to come up with our priorities. Like I was like, I need to be able to wash my hands. I need running water.
Right.
I need a toilet in case it's the middle of the night and I need a toilet.
Right.
So we had like a list of priorities of like what we had to have, and then kind of just try to figure it out around it. Plus we had to go with like, what are we capable of doing? Because you know how some of these people, their van builds are quite impressive, but we were doing this, in front of the house, in front of the garage.
In the garage
Like,
and
we're
the
not
driveway.
a professional builders.
Right. Did you guys do pretty much everything yourselves?
Everything except the cushions.
Cushions. We paid someone to do
And
the
they're
custom
nice
cushions.
too. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
cool. That's amazing. And then, so did you take some of your modifications from the Subaru, like flatbed kind of thing, to the van?
No, it's totally new build, and it was just like trial and error and figuring out
Mhm.
which way would work and with the space. Obviously, it's not as big as a Sprinter, but it's comfortable. We lived out of it we put everything in storage and lived out of it for 4 months last summer.
Yeah. We did get like the storage thing up top because we needed the extra storage space. We've talked a lot about putting a high top on as being the next step to get more room out of it.
Sure,
Okay.
absolutely.
So what was the plan? So you're saying we got the van, we're going to build it out. You put your stuff in storage, that's a process in itself.
Yeah.
Right? Like, what'd you do? Did you give like stuff to the kids and then get rid of this and donate? And
we've been kind of, when we moved up here, we downsized a fair amount, and we've been slowly downsizing more and more.
We're whittling away at all of our things.
That's what we're doing too.
And it was neat. We because of my job, I still had to work. I took a per diem position, which the minimum I could work and still keep the job was 4 days a month.
Perfect.
So what we would do in the summer is we would take off for 3 weeks, travel around, and then I'd come back, work a week.
Actually, like if you do it, you can do like 4 days at the beginning of the month and then 4 days at the end of the next month, and have like 6 to 7 weeks.
Oh, you're a thinker. I like that.
We didn't get it was a great time. It was I think we calculated, went to 7 states and 9 national parks.
Yeah.
And
we had never been to a lot of those places before, because when our kids were little, we camped a lot with them, and we did like the regular your kids are little things, right? Like you're going to Disneyland, but we never like actually went to Utah or some of these further away places. So I can't believe how amazing Utah was. That was so
Right.
impressive.
That's
We
on
were
our
blown
list
away by
too.
Utah.
Yeah.
Utah,
That's on the list.
Idaho.
Well, we've driven through Idaho, but yeah, definitely. So how far did you plan in advance? So you're everything's in storage
regards to
now, and you've got the van built, you're ready to go. Like, how did you plan your route?
Well, I'm sort of the master planner.
For sure.
I like it.
And at the time, Lisa was working remote.
I still work remote.
Still works remote, but at the time she had to work 3 days a week. So we had to make sure at least 3 days a week were booked someplace where we'd have internet. So we did a lot of KOAs and different campsites where we did have internet. We also had to set it up to where we had a mobile hotspot to where we got very good internet in the van as long as we had a cell phone signal.
Yeah.
Okay.
But most of the stuff was planned based around
my work day.
Yeah.
So we would plan, like, you know, if we're going out for 4 weeks, I would kind of plan what's the route we're going to take. And I would ask him, what's some things that you want to see? Like when we went to Utah, he really wanted to ride his bike on that slick rock.
Moab. Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah, cool.
He loves mountain biking. So I try to plan the route, like hitting the things we wanted to see. And obviously some things you have to book a little more, like when we went to Yellowstone, you know, you have to book it. It's very popular. Crater Lake, things like that.
Yep.
Right.
But then aside from that, like the days I was off work, we kind of would just say, what's on, you know, the apps for your, where you can just park for free, iOverlander, stuff like that.
Yep.
That was one thing I was going to ask you. So what apps do you use kind of for locating camp spots even?
iOverlander is the primary one. Primary one, and then just Google Maps and looking for. You know, we did pay for most of our camping. We paid for. Obviously, there's the federal land you can camp on, BLM land.
Yeah,
we did a little bit of that, but especially around the work week, we would try to make sure we were somewhere where we wouldn't get disturbed, where no one would kick us out, type of thing. We did do a little bit of urban camping, where you know do a little bit of stealth camping here and there.
It's not my
yeah. Was it weird?
Yeah, but it works out. There's sometimes where, you know, that's the cool thing about having a van that you can drive in the city, that, you know, if we're going to go visit our kids and, you know, you need to crash somewhere along the way.
Well, you do.
Sure, you park right outside of Starbucks and boom, you got Wi-Fi.
I guess. I mean, that's true too. But
when we were in the Redwoods, we had to drive all the way to the nearest Starbucks because remember the tree cover, we weren't getting good solar, and so our
that makes sense.
Down.
Oh, for sure.
So we had to get up at like 4 a.m. before my work day and drive all the way to a Starbucks so I could work in the parking lot.
Yeah, so we could plug
Holy moly! When you were mentioning all the the national parks, a lot of them you can't, like, the trails aren't dog friendly.
Yeah, that was tough.
Yeah. So how'd you deal with that?
So one of the things that I always did was I would research anywhere you could hike, and I would always ask when we got there, where can my dog go? So like when we went to Yellowstone, the ranger told us like one trail that he could go on that went to that, what was it called? It was like the Grand Canyon of Yellowstone. He was like,
it's called the Grand Canyon of Yellowstone. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so he gave us a trail that we could take Teddy on and walk there. And then in Crater Lake, you could walk on the PCT with your dog. So we did that.
Oh, that's nice.
So I always just try to find like what trail is he allowed on.
Yeah, because I mean, that's so important, right? I mean, he's your family and you don't want him stuck in the van. You know what I mean?
No,
like the weather, like hot weather.
Right.
Another thing I wanted to say about national parks that we found out, we were going to buy one of those passes for all the national parks.
Right.
And we found out that veterans get those for free. So if there's any veterans out there that doesn't have one, you just have to.
Isn't that awesome?
I know.
Yeah,
it's funny because everywhere we go, he's like, "Is there a veterans discount?"
Hey, why not?
That's how he finds out.
Yeah, we were about to pay. We were about to pay for an annual pass, and I asked the question, and so now we got an annual pass for free.
Yeah.
Is it for life now? Then that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. Because it's like what, $80 or whatever, I think. Because we just got ours in September again. We had ours was expired. So, wow. You did something in one of the videos that I've never even heard of before. Is you check a cell coverage map. when you're in a location?
Oh yeah, because we have the hotspot.
So what is that?
So like on T-Mobile, we have T-Mobile.
Okay.
I always recommend T-Mobile, but we have a hotspot with T-Mobile on our phones with T-Mobile.
Okay.
And so like when we were going to go to the redwoods or things like that, I would look at the T-Mobile map and see like how is the signal there, because obviously some places you won't have a signal at all. And if we have the hotspot, we had a WeBoost too. And so if you have at least one bar, you can boost it a little, and then you can have pretty good internet. So that was kind of what we were just always trying to do. Like, I didn't want to end up during my work week somewhere where I couldn't get a signal.
Right. Because we're gonna have to check that out. And I was like, I never even thought of doing that before. Like,
and
we
also,
could be. Go ahead.
I was going to say, also, iOverlander, at the description of the place, they'll usually write, like, if there's cell phone service there.
Okay.
So that's another place that's listed.
There's there's a camping website, too, that does that. Oh, what is the name of that? It's like, I forget what it is, but it's like you search campgrounds, and they usually tell you, like, if they liked it, how much it costs. And then people will comment on their Wi-Fi signal, like Verizon 3 bars to
which actually is pretty good. I mean, because that's important for people.
For some people.
No, it is. I mean, we've been up in the mountains, and all of a sudden it's be like, is that your email going off? You know what I mean? Like, it's just bizarre.
All places you don't want signal in the middle of a trail
or whatever, and
way back in the bush,
and we're like, what is that?
Didn't expect it. Here's ping.
It's a work email, nevertheless, or something, right? It's horrible.
I have all my notifications as special tones, and I hear that it's like, what the heck?
Come on, right? I know it's terrible.
I can't get a phone call going down the highway, but I can get signal like 10 miles off,
right?
Off the beaten path.
Right.
Yeah, you just get on a peak, and all of a sudden you're like in the open, and you get like all the signal, and your phone starts buzzing.
It's so true.
No, I was on the side of a mountain.
No, we were on the side of a mountain. I know.
Like covered trees.
It was ridiculous. I know.
Stupid.
There's it's not Hip Camp. I know somebody asked if the website is Hip Camp. It's a different. I'll think of it. It's a different
DRT or something.
No, not Dirt either. There's that Dirt one.
There's the Dirt. There's Hip Camp. You said, I know you guys stay a lot at this thing called Harvest Host.
Oh yeah.
That is fancy pants. Where did you find that?
It's only $99 a year.
Yeah, it's
what?
Yeah, it's $99 a year, and what they do is they partner with. I think initially it started off as wineries, but it's expanded to like other farms and other points of interest. And what it is if a winery has a space for you to park your RV, they'll let you stay there if you're a member for free. And the idea is that they expect you to spend some money there. So in other words, like if it is a winery, go to the tasting room and get a glass of wine rather than just stay there for free. So kind of, it's helped out. We use it.
Sign me up.
Yeah. You have to be fully like enclosed because they're not going to provide you a bathroom. So your rig has to have everything you would need, like water.
So in other words, I can't open the shower on the side of the rig.
Oh, you probably can't shower outside then. Okay. Oh.
Well, maybe if you have your swimsuit on.
Hey, how you doing? Oh, just over here taking a shower.
Okay. It looks like Miyagi just said, is the app called Free Roam?
No, I guess I better figure it out, huh?
That's okay. You can share it, everybody.
Undisclosed app out there does it, but we're not sure.
Yeah, right. Awesome.
So many apps we all use.
What?
Totally. So we got a couple quick questions. Sure. What do you got? So Ontario camping couple, they said, so you see kayaking enough, do you consider doing a kayak canoe river trip?
Ooh.
I loved it. I
need more practice.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I don't know, I've heard of people who will.
Okay, the app, really quick, the website is Campendium.
Oh, I've heard of Campendium. Yeah.
Yeah, Campendium.
Yeah, I don't know about camping out of the kayak, but definitely if especially up here in the Pacific Northwest, there's so much water. I wouldn't mind getting a kayak.
Okay.
Well, when we did the class, I was like really wanted to try kayaking because I'd never done it before. And I sort of imagined like on a lake, like smooth water.
Sure.
Kayaking. And he signed us up for sea kayaking. So it was a little bit of a bigger challenge for me. So I think I need more practice. But here they have this community boating center. And because we took the class there, we're allowed to take out the kayaks and practice. So
That's great.
Oh,
yeah,
awesome.
we could do.
Yeah, it's a really cool place, and they do charge you to rent their equipment, but they have wetsuits and I don't even I think they just charge you for the boat, and I think everything else just comes with it. And,
That's pretty sweet, actually.
That's not a bad gig.
No, that's really awesome, actually.
yeah,
Nice.
they have other events and stuff, and it's a really cool organization.
I think they need a little more practice. I mean, it's a learning curve because they were teaching us how to go sideways and how to go the other way.
Oh, yeah.
Go backwards. So it's obviously a learning curve if you've never done it before.
Lessons are
We
the
used
way
to
it is.
volunteer as camp nurses, and remember we took a canoe out on the lake, and we thought that was great marriage counseling.
Yeah, if you can control a canoe together, then
If
you
you
can
get
get
out
through
on a lake and talk to each other about how to get from here to there.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
That's
I love you, honey.
communication.
And you're right. That is communication is key.
Right.
Absolute.
Sink
Right.
or swim, darling.
Listen to me. He holds the map, and I'm like, "Arr." Oh, that's so
Because
funny.
I know where I'm going.
Well, that's true too. Have you met some like super interesting, like-minded people on the road? Like, I feel like there's like a van life community that you got to pop in, and there's all the vans down by the river kind of thing, or you know what I mean?
I think we met more interesting people on the Camino.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like we met some really cool couples walking the Camino de Santiago. Like we met a couple from Oregon. They were a lot of fun, and because you kind of run into each other again and again. Like even if somebody gets ahead of you, then you like see them again later on the trail. So that was kind of a neat experience where the community happened a little more.
Okay.
But with van life too, I do think there are times as soon as you see someone who has a camper van and vice versa, usually it's pretty easy to talk to them. And from what I've seen, most people are interested in sharing their story, or if you have any questions, they're willing to help. Or that's what we found for sure.
And how many times, like at the grocery store, people say, "Can I just look inside?"
I don't know if did people ask us that. He asks everybody. He's always like, we're at a coffee shop, and he's like, "Is that your van? Can I?"
So he's the guy. Okay.
Sure.
I love it.
The worst they can say is no.
Well, that's true too. But that's how you learn, right? Like
you go check it out, you get some ideas and stuff like that. It's like,
and we've met some people. Matter of fact, there was a couple we met up here just randomly. We walked by their van and started talking with them, and they're from where are they from? They're somewhere in Europe, and they're here traveling around with their mountain bikes.
From Amsterdam?
No, there was
maybe a Nordic country, but they're like in Utah now. Huh?
Yeah, and it's you make friends that way. And there's been people that I've followed. Sure, we got social media. Let's exchange social media, and if I follow their adventures.
Absolutely. Yes, as big as the community is, it's so small. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Sure.
I think it happens more at the free sites than so when I would work, we often stayed like at a campground. There's more like families or like people with RVs who are just on their little vacation.
Just there for their weekend.
But when you go to like the free spot, those are people who are like really into the
lifestyle.
They're dedicated. Yeah.
Yeah. The boondockers are the way to go.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. How about cold weather adjustment with the van?
That's hard.
That's hard. And actually so that's why in the winter, so typically the last 2 years, what we've done is we've done short-term rentals in the winter, just because.
Which is where we are.
Yeah.
Right.
We have they say the Mr. Buddy heater is okay to use inside your van. But we don't, some people do these, the diesel heaters that are vented, and we haven't done that. So it's a little tricky. We did buy a heated mattress pad, which helps.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I like that.
I think the coldest we did was when we were in Arizona and Flagstaff, and I think it got down to 26 outside. And I said, "That's it. That's I can't do this."
And our van has the windows, and as much as I tried to insulate, it's not perfect.
26 outside was too cold. I mean, you could be on the heated mattress pad and like all bundled up, but you couldn't ever get out of bed.
Right.
And then this Mr. Buddy heater uses the propane, but it uses it fast. You can't you'd go through them. I think.
And I wouldn't
Yeah.
sleep with it on. I don't think they recommend you sleep with it on, but it's
No.
definitely a hazard. So we used it just a couple times just to heat up the van and then turn it off.
Yeah.
Just to get it,
yeah.
toasty enough kind of thing.
Same with us.
Right. Because
But
we're
this
doing
month we're driving to see our kids, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
okay.
Well, you're on the road, so you can go south.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's the direction we're going, but it's going to be cold along the way.
First couple nights might be cold.
Okay.
We're not
Have
from
you-
Michigan, so we're not used to the
What?
cold weather.
Right. But is Michigan on your list?
I'd love to.
Yeah, I mean, I would love. So there's so many places we want to go. One of the big time constraints for us is that 4-day work week he has. So you have to kind of plan how far can we go before we have to turn around and come back.
Got it.
And so that's why last summer when we did it, we went to like, Idaho, Wyoming, Montana.
I think Yellowstone
Utah.
might have been the furthest east we've
Oh,
been.
okay.
Was Utah the furthest? I think it's Utah.
Or
I don't know.
Utah, yeah.
We don't really know. We're not smart about maps.
No, I think Yellowstone, and then we did Utah, a different trip. But
Okay.
But yeah, I think we have to figure out, because like Lisa said, you got to plan for your drive back. So I think
Right.
if we ever want to go, because my family's from the East Coast, and I've never been. There's parts of the East Coast I've never
His
been.
family's actually from Canada.
No way.
Where are you from?
My French Canadian, Nova Scotia.
Okay. No. Oh, as far as you can go, almost.
Yeah.
But I was born and raised in California, so
Right.
we've been to Montreal and Toronto, but anyways, to get to the East Coast, we might have to figure out something. Either
One day when I convince him to quit his job.
yeah, maybe to drive and then fly home and then work and then fly back or some way we can
Right.
continue going further east.
Yeah, good idea. You could just fly home and work, and I could be there. waiting for you to come
Look
back.
at that, man.
That's
That was-
how a plan happens.
that's
We just talk
easy
about
plan.
it, right?
Hey, so what are you talking? You've been way farther east than you. You were in Spain.
Oh
That
yeah,
is
yeah.
true.
Of course.
Not with the van.
I know. So
Not in the van, of course.
I know,
No, but
we have to. Yeah,
I got to touch base on this because
we have to talk Camino.
I'm a Camino addict right now.
Oh,
Like,
have you been?
No, it's
It's on the list for in 2 years.
so
It's
we had
awesome.
said last year that we were going to hike it September of 2024. Just it would fit in well with our plans. I think we already had planned already.
No, let's push back to 25 now.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, it is.
It's 24.
25.
24. Anyways, keep talking.
So tell us about your experience.
Yeah.
So are you guys doing the whole from St. John Pied de Port to the end?
Yes, the full 500 and kind of like so tell us, so it's a 500-mile trek,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Tell us about your experience of your path.
Yeah.
So one thing I would say is we went at an interesting time because it was the end of COVID restrictions, sort of. So like when we flew, you still were wearing a mask on the plane.
Yeah.
And when we flew back, there was no more mask on the plane.
Right.
So it's kind of this weird transition phase where it's like people are just hanging out with each other and hadn't hung out with anyone for 2 years. You know what I mean? So like we were unsure of like what the hostel situation was going to be. Like some of them were closed. Some of them didn't give you any sheets anymore. So we brought sleeping bags because we weren't
Right.
sure if we would have a sheet some places. So it was a little bit of a transitional period in that sense. But I thought it was a great experience.
Yeah.
Very hard, but great experience.
And we set out to do the 500 miles, and we kind of let ourselves have the opportunity if we needed to take a day off or rest or something. We ended up doing just under 300 miles because there was a period of time where
We got sick.
we did get sick at one point.
Yeah.
And kind of held up in a hotel for a week, and
Yeah, and
It
I
was
think
great.
that was an interesting part too, because it wasn't COVID, but we met a lot of people who got sick on the Camino. Like, we hadn't hung out with people for 2 years or whatever, right?
Right.
And so we ended up meeting people who were sick, but didn't mention they were sick.
Gotcha.
and they
And
were
we're
saying,
staying
I
in
know.
like the hostel and like,
Yep.
coughing everywhere. And then you're like, oh, you're sick. Maybe you should get a room. I don't know. But anyway.
Right.
So we ended up getting sick. We even tested ourselves, but we just stayed in a room for a week, hacking
you.
each other.
It was a great experience. I would say, I mean, there's so many different ways to do it. And
So many.
sounds like you guys are backpackers, so like a lot of people pay a service to transport their bag to the next stop.
Which
we
I might
carry-
take that service up.
He was like, I didn't know you could do that. And I'm
I
like,
was
we're
like-
not doing that.
I was like,
we're carrying all of our stuff for 500 miles, honey.
If I could
We-
just throw
but-
like a
okay,
what,
so
a
I
couple
will
baguettes
tell
and
you
What?
if I can get by with a couple baguettes and a chunk of salami in my back, I'm
Oh.
say here
Yeah,
you go.
yeah.
Cuddle
Some
off, buddy.
cheese. Yeah. Like, so we carried all of our stuff. And part of that was like budget because it's like you're there 40 days,
Right.
you know, so like trying to budget it out. But I'll tell you, when we do our hike next year, we're not carrying our stuff.
Yeah. So
Okay.
So another thing I'd like to share about the Camino is that we
Yeah.
found that, one, it was a wonderful experience. We met a lot of great people, but it's definitely, as you get closer to the destination, it becomes a totally different hike. Obviously, there's so many the different regions that you walk through,
Mhm.
but
It was beautiful.
when we started, it wasn't like we'd go hours without seeing people sometimes.
Mhm.
But when you get to like the last 100 kilometers, I felt like we were in Disneyland. Like it was so crowded and everyone's in their new tracksuits and there's like souvenir stands every corner. So
Okay.
it's definitely changes. So just be aware of that. If you're doing the full 500, then you're going to see the slower, beautiful parts. The other parts are beautiful too, but it's just a little different experience. So some people come to just do that last 100 kilometers.
You only have to do that last part to get your
Right.
Compostela.
Right.
And so tons of people.
Really? What a
yeah,
bunch
like
of
to the shirt. Yeah. Yeah.
that's no
Yeah,
fun.
so lots of
I
people
wanna-
just do the end. Like we
Yeah.
met, remember we met
I
that
want,
lady?
I want all the stamps.
Yeah.
I think we met a lady who was like, how old was she? Remember at that one? She was like 80 or something. She was so elderly, and she was like, I've been waiting my whole life to do this.
Yeah.
Oh, bless her heart.
That's awesome.
Oh,
So that's why,
nice.
like, you know, that last 100 is probably good for her.
Right.
And you
right.
would see
I mean-
you would see these tour buses dropping people off, and we asked about that. And I guess it's like
Like
if you live in the area and you want to do it on the weekends, I guess you can arrange to like they'll pick you up at the end of the day, and then the next weekend they'll drop you back off there. So
Okay,
but,
that makes
you know,
sense.
it's a little different, but it was definitely more of an experience to start from the beginning. Where
Okay.
it felt a little
So
bit-
was it always on your radar to do, or were you just like, hey, let's go to Spain and walk 500 miles?
Actually, when we started hiking together, because we lived in Southern California, we were hiking the mountains in the San Gabriel Valley, and we kind of made it a challenge to like go higher and higher, like to get to the peak of some of them. And we started watching like hiking YouTube.
Right.
And I was like, oh, what if we did the PCT one year? And we're like, but we have to sleep on the ground.
No, and I think I was the one who said, if you want to do one of these through hikes, let's go do the Camino, and we could go village to village. And
Sleep in a bed every night and not sleep on the ground.
And
We
like
didn't
John
know if we were
calls
up
it.
for
I call it the charcuterie trail.
yeah, that's totally that makes sense.
So that's one thing I've noticed watching your vids on this is the fact that you guys love cappuccinos.
Oh,
Yeah. Who doesn't love coffee?
yeah.
Right?
I think you average like 2-3 a day.
Oh,
I think.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I was like,
so
man, that looks so good.
if you are walking like 12 miles, you know, the first stop in the first town you come to, you got to get a coffee. And then you go to the next town for lunch. You got to get a coffee with your lunch.
It's a European cafe culture, you
And
know.
it's like a euro 50. It's so cheap.
Oh my god! And
Right,
then-
that's not fair.
and there's a wine spigot on
Yeah,
the trail.
where-
I was
yeah,
like,
there-
that's
there
like,
is.
man, I need that in the backyard.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that was so
and-
cool.
For those that don't know, you can make it as luxurious as you want and stay in really nice hotels, or you can go budget and stay in
Yeah.
hostels every night. So
Right.
we kind of did it in between. And there were times where we would be in a hostel, but they'd offer a private room. Sometimes we'd be in a private room with a shared bath. So it just
Yeah.
depends. We broke it up. Sometimes we stayed in real that's funny. Sometimes we'd stay in like real
Good job,
hotels.
Doc.
And, yeah, it was a good trip for sure.
But even when you stay in a hotel, it's like 40 or 50 euros. So
Right.
it's cheaper than staying in like, you know, a hotel here.
Right.
Right.
No,
Oh, yeah.
100%. So how did you said you were watching videos, right? Like when people already walked the Camino, and then you just kind of took from then what you thought was going to work for you too? Like
Did
based
some
on your
research,
abilities and stuff, or
I
We
do have a
trained.
spreadsheet.
And
Yeah.
we did train. We watched some videos about how to train and what.
right?
So we were walking quite a bit.
Yeah.
Where we live here in Bellingham, there's trails everywhere. So
Yeah.
we're out.
So we made a training plan with there. I think I have it somewhere
Okay.
on our website or on one of the videos, but
Right.
there's like a physical therapist out of the UK who made a Camino training plan. And it's like these days you walk and these days you do workouts. And then on the weekend, we would just get further and further. And then we start adding the backpacks. But
Okay.
even though we did all that training, it was still harder than our training, I think, for me.
Okay.
I don't think we ever, because we got up to like 10 miles here, but then that's like the kind of the starting point there.
Right.
Like
So I
some days
mean,
were like 16 miles.
what was the difficult part? Was it due to elevation change or?
No, I think it was my feet. I think I still have some plantar fasciitis from it. Like, so I'd get up in the morning and my feet were so sore. And I
Felt
think-
really crampy because you guys, I mean, it's a lot of road walking.
It is.
But,
It's
yeah,
serious.
and every day. So it's like, well, we would take a day off here and there, but I think just the day and day, just constantly doing it.
And like, so even not just road, like sometimes there's a lot.
Cobblestones were
it's like,
awful.
yeah, cobblestones, the rocky.
Oh yeah, they suck.
Like day 3, we were going downhill on what was like granite,
Jagged granite.
just jagged granite. And I was like,
Terrible.
my
Oh, yeah.
feet hurt.
Yeah,
Right.
cobblestones were hard on your feet for sure.
I think if I did anything different, I would get inserts for my shoes.
Okay.
And then didn't you say the physical therapist said you have to do more like stretching for the plantar fasciitis? Did he say do downward facing dog?
Well, that was
Really?
one good one, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think I would do, tried to stretch at the end of the day, but I was so
Yeah.
wiped. I'd be
Right.
like, let me stretch. And then you have to shower. And then you have to wash all your clothes
Right.
and hang them up to dry before it's too late. And then you go eat dinner. It was like, and then you're like, I got to go to bed now.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, because you pack, as you know from being backpackers, but we packed very minimal and just like we'd wash our own clothes.
2 outfits.
We'd
Right.
wash our
That's all you
wash our
need.
clothes in the evening.
Yeah. So you guys
Yeah.
have the Gregory packs, right? That's what you took.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah. Like they're 5 pounds in themselves almost.
They aren't the lightest pack for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, part of it is I'm really cheap. Let's just be honest.
They were clearance.
We got them on clearance. And so
And you had
everything we
them.
would do, we'd weigh like, do we want to spend more on this
Right.
thing? Or are we just going to use what we already have? And
Right.
we decided we already have the backpacks.
Yeah. Yeah. So how heavy were you guys?
I want to say like 22 pounds.
I was lighter than you were.
I ended up shipping some stuff home halfway through.
He always overpacks.
Yeah.
Always.
Okay. So, so you flew. I just want to know because you flew into Paris, right?
Uh-huh.
Because I know you can't fly with trekking poles, right?
hold-
So you
hold
got to
this
pack
up, hold
those.
We did. We did.
So
it.
your packs are only 22 pounds.
About, yeah. Because we didn't bring it. There's no tent involved. There's no
Right.
food really. Just bring snacks. But
Yeah.
our packs and clothing and water was about 22 pounds.
And I just
Oh,
had
that's super light.
Yeah.
I just had 2 water bottles that I refilled everywhere. Like I got two bottles of water. I didn't bring a water bottle. He brought one and left it somewhere. Like, in a
Like
first,
a Nalgene or something.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I just had 2, bottles of water that you put on the sides,
Like
and
a
I
liter
just
of-
refilled them everywhere.
Yeah. Did you bring a
Makes sense.
water filtration?
No, there's water. They have fountains everywhere for you to get
Like
water.
this time.
And you're going village to village. So
Every village has a fountain, and it's like all the other pilgrims filling it up.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, interesting.
What would you have done differently?
I think, like I said, the inserts for my shoes.
Okay.
I had good shoes. I wore like trail runners because that's
Yeah.
what I like. And I just think I needed to stretch better because it was just really hard on the arches. Maybe I didn't really plan like how important you have to take care of your feet on such a long walk.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I saw in one of your vids, you think you got like athlete's foot. That's gotta suck.
Yeah, and I'm starting to wonder if that's what it was. Like I read a lot about this thing where people are hiking and they get like a hiker's rash,
Okay.
but it's really something about inflammation on blood vessels.
Okay.
And so now I'm thinking maybe that's what I had because it's not like my feet were smelly.
And it didn't respond to the anti.
Yeah, it just I kept getting this red, itchy, irritated rash.
Right.
And so I think it might have been that instead.
Got
Okay.
it.
That's a possibility.
Right.
Yeah. I think one of the things for me, it was like a real mental challenge. Like we had a lot of conversation, like Will would just walk and he's like, was in the army. So he was like, you have to do the hard thing. So you have to do it. No one's going to do it for you. And I was like, I don't know. I was like walking and kept questioning, like, why am I so slow? Why aren't I better at this? I don't know. I would like get all upset at myself, like, do better, Lisa. Come on, get it together. And then I'd be like, why am I being so hard on myself? I'm just walking. Like,
right? Exactly.
I can go slow. It's okay. I don't have to be fast.
It wasn't a race, so we could take our time. And...
Absolutely.
With that, I always say that it's not a race. Exactly.
It's not. Yeah, it's
like
not about. It's not about the pace. It's about the experience.
It is exactly. Any wildlife on the Camino?
Oh yeah. We saw storks, lots of storks. I've never seen a stork before. Apparently, they're not very common.
Were they delivering any
babies?
I
was like, where's all the babies? Yeah.
I guess they build their nests in a lot of churches there and stuff. So we saw tons of storks.
Okay.
And a lot of, not so much wildlife. I mean, there's a lot. We'd walk by through a lot of pastures and farms, and I mean, we saw cows and pigs and horses constantly.
And they were so cute. They all had bells on their neck, and so they walk around and it's like ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, but no bears or anything like that.
Right.
Yeah. But there was like butterflies you've never seen before because they're in Spain and not here.
Yeah.
It was really beautiful.
That is so nice. Then would you recommend any kind of fitness level could do it? Like you're saying the 80-year-old woman is hiking the last 100 or walking the last 100 miles.
Sure.
I mean, I think you should do the training like that physical therapist.
Okay.
Because you definitely have to work your way up to, and like he said, it's not that you can't walk 10 miles because we're like, we've hiked 10 miles.
That's nothing. Yeah.
But it's the everyday. And you know what? I booked our rooms like the first 2 weeks, and I probably shouldn't have done that. I didn't realize we would need like a rest day sooner. So you kind of have to give yourself room to take a break.
Right.
Sure.
And not know, like, maybe you want a short day, then maybe, so we started like halfway through the trip, we would book like 2-3 days in advance.
Okay.
Yeah, we switched to just doing like 2 nights ahead of time.
Okay. All right.
While he was showering, I was like, let me find a room for us for tomorrow.
But I'm like you, I'm a planner. So I don't like surprises. I don't like getting to camp at night. Like that makes me crazy, like all that kind of stuff.
Oh,
so
relax.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm a planner, and that's why I booked them all. But then I was like, this isn't working.
So what am I showing you?
Oh, I just got a picture here.
Okay.
So where was this?
The church in Spain on the it's like everywhere, to be honest.
I think this is after we were walking and that guy was in the middle of nowhere with all the free fruit.
Oh yeah.
So there was like one part of the trail where we were walking and we met the guy from Canada. Remember when he gave us the Canadian bracelets?
Made us honorary Canadian citizens.
Yeah. He gave us bracelets with a Canadian flag and made us honorary Canadians. Wow. But there was like this spot, and there's this guy who goes there every day, and he just takes like donations, but he has like a huge display of fruit. Like there was watermelon, apples.
What?
Called the Oasis, I think is what I've heard it referred to.
And he's just out there for the pilgrims walking by.
Yeah.
And I think we moved to that church a little bit after.
I was gonna say that the whole walk, everywhere you walk, all the little villages and towns you walk through are all catered towards the pilgrimage. So
this 1,000-year-old.
So even if you didn't have reservations, there's so many options. It's not hard to find a place. So as far as needing to plan ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you got your little. Oh, go ahead, honey. You go first.
I say our level has a question here.
Oh.
They're asking how much of the Camino is paved / concrete.
So probably more than half, I'd say.
You think more than half?
Because all the towns you walk through. Yeah. I mean, there's some
but it's it's not like here. It's like there's cobblestone or like stone parts of it where it's like big slabs of stone that you're walking on. So it's not paved like asphalt.
But there are also portions where you do walk on the roadside. There are certain, not that much, but every once in a while. And like if you read the guidebooks, it'll say like it'll tell you which parts are going to be walking along the roadside.
Okay. So you did follow
hard pegs,
right? Exactly.
Dirt. And such.
Because I was going to say that there's so many of these little guidebooks, right? And they say, okay, so you get off the airplane and you do this, and then you get to the train station and you do this, and so you guys got your little shell, right? Like your Camino.
We never did get a shell.
Oh, what?
No, remember mine broke.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
Yours broke and we thought it was a bad omen.
So we brought our own shells from here.
Okay.
And because we were, everyone gets a little shell, and they just buy them at a gift shop when they start. But we brought our own, and I think we were going through a little town, and I was trying to get stuff out of my backpack, and mine fell and broke, and he was like, "That's a bad omen."
Oh no!
Mine was an oyster shell from the beach here, and then I ended up leaving it. There's a place where you're supposed to you carry a rock, supposed to symbolize something you've been carrying, and you leave it. And so I carried an oyster shell from the beach here and left the oyster shell there.
Yeah.
So there's a little piece of North Washington there.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that.
Well, I think we'll bring a Petoskey stone.
Ooh, that's a good idea. Okay. I like that. Or maybe one of the, what are the things called up in the Lake Superior? The Uperlites.
Oh,
You could do a Uperite. Yeah, we could do that too.
Is it a kind of stone?
So it's basically you can only find it on the lake shores of the southern part of Lake Superior. I'm pretty sure it's just the southern. I never heard anybody finding any on the northern.
I know.
But anyways, you go out there at nighttime with a black light and UV black light, and you shine it on these rocks. Everything looks the same, but these certain ones will glow a luminescent yellow.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah, that's really fun.
So, and they're called Uperites.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so we could do that. That's true. And then, so one more thing, because John mentioned it about the stamp. Did you get a little book thing where you got stamped?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You have to get the stamps to get the Compostela at the end, because that's like your proof. Here, I really did walk.
Okay.
It's kind of a neat keepsake too. They only they only count the last 100 kilometers are the ones that really matter. Well, but everything else is just bonus.
But if you show the full book, you can get another certificate that says how many kilometers you walked. So one is like you did it, and then another one can say this was your distance.
Perfect. Now I know there's an extension to it. Did you guys partake into that or no?
No.
We went to Portugal afterwards.
Had a recovery week in Portugal
and ate a lot of food.
I like that.
That sounds yummy.
I know.
That's like a reward week.
I know.
Yeah, exactly. So actually, originally we were going to do the Portuguese way. When we first came up with doing the Camino, we were still in Southern California, both working. So we thought we'd only get like 2 weeks vacation. So we thought we'd do the Portuguese way.
Right.
And then when we completely changed our life and we were going to do the whole thing, we were like, well, let's still go to Portugal just to visit.
Right. Finish off the trip or whatever. So but the Camino wasn't on your bucket list.
No.
Right. So tell us about your 50 by 50.
So he's 51, but I'm going to turn 50 in like 5.5 years.
Okay.
So when we got back from the Camino, I was kind of, I don't know, trying to figure out what am I going to do with the rest of my life, basically. I don't know. Is this a midlife crisis? Probably. So I just started making a list of like things I always said I was going to do. One day I want to, we used to always say we were going to take a pottery class together and make coffee mugs. We'd say that all the time. Oh, we should do that. That'd be so neat. Oh, we should do that. And so I was like, well, I'm going to make a list of all the things that I want to do. And then I just made it 50 by 50. And I said, that's our goal. You're going to help me with my list.
I love it. Okay.
That's what the sea kayak was part of that. Was getting out
crossed off the list.
Yeah, I'd never been on a kayak.
Okay. Right. So what have you crossed off your list?
So we did the kayaking. I went backpacking all by myself. That was on there.
That's a big deal.
I really wanted to feel, you know, and it's funny that it was such a big deal, like mentally,
Sure.
but it wasn't that big of a deal when I did it. Like I was like, oh, all right, I can do all this. But like the night before I left, I was awake, like in bed, being like, I'm going all by myself. But it was fine. It turned out to be not a big deal.
She's gonna take ski lessons.
I've never been skiing.
Okay, I like that.
What kind of skiing? Water skiing or downhill?
Like downhill skiing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably. We live pretty close to Mount Baker.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you're good. You're good. Bunny Hill, it's all good.
Yeah.
But we have to be careful because he does just like he did with the sea kayaking. Last year, I said, let's learn snowshoeing. Because I never, like, we were in Southern California. I didn't go to snow. And so he signed us up for this REI snowshoe class. And it was like a 6-mile hike up and down. Like my first time in snowshoes. And I was all, oh my gosh.
That's pretty aggressive.
Oh yeah.
I thought we were just going to walk across some flat land.
No, snowshoeing is, I mean,
we love snowshoeing.
The misconcept a lot of people have around here is like, oh, let's go on a snowshoe trail. Well, you get 100 people going on a snowshoe trail. It's not a snowshoe trail. It's just a packed down.
It's an icy path.
And you don't need snowshoes.
Okay.
No, you just got to go off the beaten path and just make your own path.
Well, that is true. What are you going to cross off your list in the next 2 months?
So we're doing the skiing lessons is coming up. One of the things on the list is just sort of a baking thing. I've always wanted to make croissants, so I have a little Skillshare class that I signed up for Skillshare, so I have a little class that I saved on how to make croissants from scratch.
Love it.
I got to work on that.
I know.
But we do have a 7-country European trip coming up.
It's not in the next 2 months.
But it's definitely all that's part of our list.
Right. So show
cool.
this picture, honey.
Which one?
This one here.
All right.
So this is kind of like a by the numbers kind of thing. So what is this?
So we're planning a big adventure for next year, and we're going to go to 7 countries, and I'm trying to do it all on points and miles.
Which is amazing. So I love that portion too. So are you going to Europe?
We're going to Europe. We're going to Iceland, the UK, France, Italy, Greece, Malta, and Denmark.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have almost every flight.
There's one flight.
I'm not sure if I want to take a ferry from Greece to Italy or take a flight.
We tried something different this year. I know that people do the points, but I've never been responsible enough to do it. But this year we said, let's try it. So we're basically, instead of using, we're paying for everything, but we use the high mile cards or whatever first. So.
Yeah. So we're doing points and miles, and then we got to get hotels. But part of the trip is going to be crossing off things on the list.
That's awesome.
Very cool.
That is so cool.
So one of the things is we're going to hike around an entire island. But
Okay.
this time, somebody's moving our stuff for us.
We decided since that's just a small part of the trip, we didn't want to spend that much effort making all the plans. We'll let someone else plan.
Yeah.
So what country's doing that?
So it's the Isle of Man.
Okay, so
UK.
in England. Yeah.
So in the UK, there's a couple islands, it's like west of Manchester, and the Isle of Man is I think it's 100 miles in the circumference. And there's a road or a path called the Road of the Gull. I don't know how to say it in Manx. It's like Radnai Fallen or something like that. And so you can walk around the whole island.
That's really cool.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
You can hike around Mackinac Island too. And then you can stop and get fudge.
We'll put that on there.
Why would we want to pass up fudge?
Right on.
Yeah, especially when there's 30 different stores on the island.
Wow. So how does
not that many, but there's a lot.
How does a 36-day 7 countries work into working 4 days a month?
He's gonna have to work the beginning of the month, and then we're gone.
And then the end of the next
And
month.
the end of the next month, we come back and he works.
Holy moly, that is going to be a whirlwind tour.
It is.
And you know, when we are in town, or when we're not planning these big trips, I do work more than that for sure. But that's just the minimum. If I do want to get away, I can.
Got you. This is a good little segue about a little snowshoeing. Here we go. Greetings from Colorado. We made it barely, but just got back from snowshoeing. Hi, Miller and Debbie.
Hope it wasn't too cold.
Right. Oh, well, they love it. They love all the snowshoeing and all the cold stuff out there. That's awesome.
So as we.
We do. Definitely. And I mean, that's the whole thing. I think you just have to embrace it. And then not that you want to be in your van in the wintertime, because that is a definitely learning curve. You know what I mean? Like,
what is the hike you guys just did that was like 42 miles?
That is the Pictured Rock through hike.
How many days was it?
4 days.
Nice.
3.5.
So you're kind of like 10 miles a day-ish.
So normal people will do it in 4 10-mile days. We did 8 miles day 1. We did 15 miles day 2, 16 miles day 3, and then 5 on day 4.
5 on the way out.
Because we have a 6-hour drive back to Grand Rapids because I wanted to get home and watch the Michigan football game.
So, but it was good. And I mean, so honestly, when we first started backpacking, we were like at 6 miles, I was like crying. I was not happy.
6.5.
But I wanted to do it. And I was like, I wanted to do it. Right. So we made adjustments.
That's called newbies.
You know?
We had our big packs which awesome packs, but all the gear was like super heavy.
It was just too crazy heavy, and then made adjustments.
We just it's what you can afford.
Our biggest day has been 17 miles that we've done, which is pretty aggressive, but we're definitely like consistently 10 to 12 miles.
We can do 10, 12 easily every day.
You guys can do the Camino. You'll be great.
We'll be fine.
Oh, I'm so stoked. When I see when there's like there's a vino and cured meats and cheese at the end of the trail, it's like yes.
We're excited. I mean, obviously we've watched most of your videos and stuff like that, and it's good because we've been like kind of keeping track of stuff and writing little snippets of things that people have said.
When did you do it? You did it in April.
Last April.
Yeah,
right?
This past
I think
April.
I remember you said you were like you were right during Easter Sunday.
Yeah. We left we left the Wednesday before Easter, I think, on the Camino from St. John Pied de Port, I think.
Right.
I actually have I'm such a nerd. Okay. I have this app called Wanderlog. Is that what it is? Yeah, Wanderlog. And I have literally every place we stayed and our entire path on there. Because our kids, everywhere we go, our kids are like, they get scared by news stories and they're like,
oh yeah,
can you tell us where you are when you're out there camping and no one can reach you? So I use the Wanderlog app and I map out the itinerary and they have a link to it. So if ever they're like, where's our parents? They can be like, oh, our parents are camping at this spot tonight.
Okay.
And if you don't hear from them, this is where they were.
That is
but I could send you any of the places.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Please do.
That would be awesome. I mean, we never really talked about it, but what about safety?
On the Camino or in
no,
the van?
I want to go back to the van thing just because we're having an overland trailer built right now and safety is a big thing. I mean, even though you're enclosed, you don't know what the heck's going on out around you, do you have what's it called?
Just open the window.
I have not opened the window to peek it out of here.
Take a look outside. Oh,
I think that's why I don't like stealth camping. He's more relaxed about it, but I don't I can't sleep thinking that anyone, because when you're out camping, people aren't just really wandering around campgrounds. But when you're in a city stealth camping, people are just walking by. I don't know. It kind of makes me every little noise. I'm all
100%.
Well, they're outside. They think it's just a van with the windows covered up.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I think
in there.
once you see a vent fan and solar panels,
we can tell anyone who
I think people figure it out.
#van life. You see the fan on top or You're like,
Right,
that's
which you have the Max Air fan. That's a really nice fan.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I ever really felt unsafe.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't kind of think. I mean, we would hear noises and stuff once in a while and kind of look around out the windows, but never I don't remember anything big.
Okay.
I'd say one time someone did try to steal my bike, but we were
Whoa.
staying in a hotel, and it was in a hotel parking lot.
Oh yeah, and we didn't see them. We just came out, and he like had double locked it. He had like 2 different types of locks, and they started cutting through one, but they couldn't get the other. So.
And even if they tried to cut through a cable, and even if they cut through it, they wouldn't have got it. But
okay.
And so that's the only time something happened.
Mm-hmm.
And actually that was in
a hotel parking lot.
Canada of all places.
Oh, was it in Canada?
What? We're so nice up there.
Apparently not there.
So that was one thing I didn't like, is having my bike on the outside of the van the whole time.
Okay.
I mean, I know some of the bigger vans, they put them, if you have a tall van, you some people make storage under the bed.
Underneath. We saw somebody in Glacier had that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, they call it their garage.
Right. Yeah, their garage or whatever. Yeah.
Being a short van, we didn't have that kind of room, so my bike lived on the outside of the van, which was that was one thing. If we'd go somewhere and had to leave it for any period of time, it made me a little uncomfortable.
I think when we were away from the van, like if we're in a city, I was like really cognizant of like just covering, like, if people see things, they're going to be more likely I could just grab it real quick. So
absolutely.
All the windows. And
we did make a lock box in the back.
Top secret.
That, anyone who broke in the van could probably break into the lock box, but at least it would slow them down. So it was kind of like, if we did leave it anywhere, this is where the computers would be, or
Got you.
if we had any documents, we didn't want anyone messing with.
I think I worried a lot about security and like would look up things when we were doing the van build, and like people would say, "Oh, I have this alarm," or "I have this thing that barks," like has a dog barking sound. If someone
but you have a dog.
He doesn't bark.
But he doesn't bark.
Okay, well that's good.
Yeah. But I don't know. Once we were in it, it never really came up as an issue, really. It was just that one time with the bike in Canada. Sorry.
Okay. I know. Terrible. I'm so sorry. Right. I feel like you're pretty enamored with Canada though, too. Like I love that mug that you have,
Oh, I love Victoria. Oh my gosh. I love Vancouver Island. We were like, maybe we should live here. How hard is it to move here?
Well, it was easier for me to come this way than it was for John to come to Canada.
And cheaper.
That's what we've been hearing.
Yeah. So
one of our kids goes to school in Canada, and that's part of the reason.
That's why we go up there. So
are they in BC?
Yeah.
Do they go to UBC or Fraser or
Emily Carr?
Emily Carr. Okay. Artist.
Yeah. So that's why we go over there kind of regularly, because we have someone to visit, and it's right next door.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, very good.
We got to come back. There's a question that was earlier in the chat, and that was by those who glamped together. Of the places, what are some of your favorite locations to go?
I think Utah was.
Yeah, Utah was amazing. There was the
whole state.
Yeah, there was a state campground that we really liked outside of Moab called, what's it called? Dead Horse Park.
Okay.
Oh yeah, because it's really hard to get some of the national park campground reservations. So there was a state park just between Canyonlands and Arches. I think it was Dead Horse, and it was Dead Horse.
Yeah,
something weird like that. Yeah, but it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
Everywhere we drove in Utah, because we took the scenic byway.
Okay.
The Major 5, and I would say another interesting. I mean, there were so many interesting experiences, but when we drove across Nevada, which wasn't that exciting, but at the very end, we were at Big Basin National Park.
Was it Great Basin?
Great Basin National Park.
Great Basin. Okay, yeah.
But we got there the last day of the or the last weekend of the season, and practically had the place to ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And it was beautiful. And then it was interesting because there was this restaurant that was like this fine dining restaurant that this couple opened up, and it was like this gem, and they were like, it was they were closing for good, and we ended up being there for the last meal, and it was amazing.
Oh, I
had,
just
like,
got goosebumps.
It's
Wow.
like in the middle of nowhere, and they had like shaved truffles.
Stop it.
It was kind of a ridiculous experience. We were like, what are we doing
How
here?
did
What happened?
you-
It was this
I
kind of weird
know.
hipster.
It was
Yum.
really cool.
It was this weird hipster. Like they bought a hotel, like a motel, and fixed it up and had this amazing restaurant.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
kind of cool.
Yeah, so that was a really neat experience.
Montana, camping in Montana.
She really loved Montana.
We did some
I love Montana.
some rural camping, like
We're in like Helena National Forest.
Yep.
Like, it was like BLM land.
BLM land. Was beautiful.
Yeah, that was.
I wanted to go buy a cowboy hat and I wanted to stay.
He was like, I'm ready for Montana life.
Giddy up, let's go. So, one last question is: so
What do you
you,
need one last
I
question?
don't know. Well, I
There's
know.
quite a
Well,
few
maybe
more
don't
here.
last. But the other one was, you are so adventurous, and you are slowly starting to dial back on the real world working. What about doing one of those things where you travel to a place and you are in Montana and you work a ranch for like 3 days or something like that? Or
Yeah, it's interesting. We've talked about, is there a way we could do it?
yeah,
I love my job. I have a great job. It's hard to give up.
Sure.
So that's the thing. And it's afforded me the flexibility, but could I leave it long term? I don't know.
right.
I mean, really, you're hitting like on the conversation that
We've been having.
We've been having. We
I
are
love it.
regularly having like, what does the future look like for us?
Right.
And where would we want to be? Like, would we want to be somewhere permanently? Do we want to keep traveling? Do we want a bigger rig? Do we want so those are the conversations we've been having. It's kind of, like when you're empty nesters, like,
Sure.
you do anything really. You
Yeah.
could just get regular full-time jobs again and buy another house. And
It's hard to go back to that now that we're doing
I
this.
know.
Sucks. That's a stupid idea.
I do love my job. I love being a nurse. It's been a
Right.
great career for me.
Right.
And I landed this really great job that it pays well and it's very flexible with my time. And when
It's
I'm there,
perfect.
it's not bad. So it works out.
yeah, I mean, we
It's
both had
perfect.
really high stress nursing jobs before this, and so we don't want to go back to that kind of lifestyle. We worked hard for a long time, and I know I don't want to go back to it.
And that's probably been the biggest thing that we didn't really touch on here. When we left LA, seems like I went from one stressful job to the next for 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
And so this was kind of a reset in more than one, not just location, but
Right.
I took a job that is, I'm still responsible, but it's a lot less stressful than what I used to do.
Good for
And
you.
it's been awesome.
Yeah. I just want to be a stay-at-home dog mom.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I love that idea. I need a puppy, honey, so I can do that too.
We'll
Just
talk.
here's my recommendation: get a smaller one. It's definitely hard.
Okay.
I mean,
So-
I love Teddy.
I know. Bring him
love
up here because he's so handsome. Where is that dog?
He is the best dog ever. But
I know.
we do always have to think like, where
Right.
can we take him?
Right.
Is he allowed to go there? And we can't take him to Europe. So we're very, very fortunate to have some friends in Washington who will dog sit for us. But it is hard to be away so long, huh, Teddy?
Oh, is he coming up? Very good.
He's
So, what is your next piece of gear that you're looking at purchasing?
gear? That's a good question.
I've been pricing out new mountain bikes.
He's
but I-
always looking.
but I
Yeah,
There
he's
you
always,
go. That's the answer.
like my gear. I'll be honest, my gear is always from like the REI
Okay.
clearance rack or the garage. What is it called?
Garage
sale.
sale.
Yeah, the garage sales.
I
Yeah.
do that all the time. Like our tent that we backpack with, we got at the garage sale.
Awesome.
For like half price. So I buy gear when I see like a really good deal.
Yeah.
Makes
But
sense.
he's always looking for something.
I've been struggling with knee injuries, and I have a new pair of shoes coming that I definitely need. That's gonna hopefully be helpful.
Good.
Oh, I need new shoes too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been trying to figure out what is the lifetime of a pair of trail runners, and
Ooh.
I think my lifetime has shrunk since we are hiking. We've hiked more in the last few years.
Probably is.
Yeah. So I
Yeah,
need to-
absolutely. You know what? I forgot to ask too.
Yeah, it varies for everybody.
It does. Is when we did a 3-week trip out west and back and up to northern Michigan, right, in September, and we tented. Cooking and meal planning, and we're really good cookers and meal planners, and we eat healthy. How did you find that, or how do you find that with the van?
So that was, we were actually just talking about that since we're going to take a drive down to California. Like when it's cold or rainy, it's hard because we have like a camping stove, basically. We do have like a plug-in electric kettle, so you can do like any just add water meal.
Okay. Sure.
But sometimes I wish we had like a
because it's not a high top, the stove doesn't fit well in the van. So usually it's all about like, living out of the van more so than living in it.
Yeah.
And so when we cook, we usually have it set up either on a picnic table or one of the tables on the door. We can do certain things in the van, but it's not enough room.
Like if it's bad weather, we'll just do like add water ramen or something, or or in the morning add water oatmeal.
Sure, that's fine. That works just fine.
We have a fridge in the van,
right?
But we had to learn like vegetables don't last the same amount of time. So you have to you just don't buy. Like we buy more frequently and buy less because it'll go bad.
You buy enough to get you through like a couple of days, and then you restock, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which is back in the day, everybody did it on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And they do it in more.
Well, it's a European.
It's a European
way. That's true.
Well, yeah, the markets are more abundant, and the walkability is like right there.
Yeah.
You get what you want to cook that day, and on your way home.
Right.
So you guys enjoy doing a lot of hiking together, but what other aspects of outdoors that you guys don't do so much together?
Oh, he mountain bikes,
right?
And I do not.
Why do you hate mountain biking? What's going on?
Well, I don't really like biking. I tried to bike with him, and I'd never biked when I was growing up.
Okay.
And I think like the things that you kind of have that real joy and love for, I think you usually started younger.
Okay.
So like starting biking as an adult, I'm like, yeah, I did it, but it's not fun. But I like being slower. I like the walking through nature and being like, look at that. Oh, look at that over there, but when you're going by fast.
And I think Lisa also, like you said, what do we do separately than outdoors? So like Lisa's better with the quiet time, where I think we joke around that I maybe have some ADHD, that I don't sit still well. So like Lisa will want to read a book, and I'll be running around doing things like, and we accept that. So it's kind of like when we go places, usually that's my job to go scope out the best trails or whatever, and then come back.
Even if we're on a regular vacation in a hotel room, he would get up first thing and walk around the whole neighborhood and come back and say, I know where we should get coffee. I know where we should go later. And I'll be like, okay, sounds good.
I love that. So do you do that too? I know this is about backcountry couples, but tell me, you book a little vacation down south or something.
Oh yeah. We stay pretty active vacation wise and doing things for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. Right now we're on this, we made a budget for our Europe trip.
Yep.
And so
we're trying to save money.
We're kind of being thrifty right now. That's why we're driving in the van to see the kids, because we can't really be staying in a bunch of hotel rooms.
I think that's a great idea.
Money.
Right.
Well, that's what you built it for. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh. But you're doing it together, making memories, complimenting each other, right?
Yeah.
Well
Absolutely.
said. Miller is a man of words, isn't he?
I think there's a lot of things it would be hard for me to do. Like, I mean, if you did van life alone, like
No,
there's some things that would be hard for me.
I don't think that would work.
Yeah, and I think, and I credit Lisa to where we are today. I mean, it seems like every big decision that we've done or big change we've made, usually Lisa's taking me kicking and screaming, and then we end up doing it. I'm like, wow, why didn't we do this earlier? So,
Awesome, right?
She convinces, and I've learned to just accept, like, when she recommends something, to think about it more rather than pushing back, because 90% of the time she's right. So,
but he's also like the fixer. Like, if something breaks, he's like, I know how to fix that. And I would probably be like, the camping stove is broken. I can't use it anymore.
Right. But you're a planner. You're the creator. You like the spreadsheet girl we just found out. You know what I mean? So that's good. It's a good compliment with each other.
I wing it.
I'm not a wing it.
Me too.
Person. That puts me over the edge. I'm just telling you right now.
You know, it's funny because we've talked a lot about that, and I'm trying to learn to be a little more comfortable with winging it, but we almost have to plan it. I'll be like, let's plan that today we're gonna wing it. But I know in advance.
I'll plan winging it. Oh, that's like that totally defeats the purpose of winging it.
It's like baby steps winging it.
No, you just walk down the street. Hey, let's go do this. And like, oh, we're supposed to. No, let's come over here.
Like, if we drive somewhere, I know a certain way I like to go. If we deviate from that way, I'm like, why did we go that way? I'm like, no, I don't feel like comfortable doing that.
He drives a different way every day. He'll be like, anyway, we're coming home. He's like, I'm going this way now. And I'm like, why are you going this way?
Right. No.
I haven't been down this way. I want to see if anything's new.
Oh my God. So how can everybody find you? Where are you at? You are on Instagram?
Yeah. So we're on Instagram and we're on YouTube, the Empty Nest Projects. And we also have a website, theemptynestprojects.com. I don't update it a ton, but that's where my 50 by 50 list is.
Okay.
There's also some good information about our van build on there, I think, too. So if anyone's interested in seeing how it turned out.
I think I put the budget on there, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's perfect. I feel like those are quite, like you said, how many videos did you watch and research? And people are looking for that kind of stuff. So and I don't even think it's even a full-on van build. I think it's people are doing, like you were saying, the Subaru stuff or whatever, right? Like just a quick little weekend kind of getaway car kind of thing. And so that's all so useful and helpful. And YouTube has been really great. You guys are great. It's just you guys being you.
Yeah. Well, I think it's hard to get used to being you on camera. Like you're, in this kind of situation where we're talking with each other, you just act like yourself because you're in a conversation. Sure. But when we're not talking and you're talking to the camera, I don't know. All of a sudden at first you're awkward. You're like, hey guys, today we're gonna.
Right. But I mean I feel like that's changed from like your first videos to your videos you make now, though.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a learning curve for sure.
It is. And one thing we've discovered is we're not making, Oscar nominated videos.
What are you talking about?
We are not making Oscar nominated video. We're just making a video. You know what I mean? If you want an Oscar, watch someone who whatever. But no.
Go watch Live Today Wonderland. He's
got some good videos.
He's got some good videos.
He's got the camera gear,
but cinematic.
He is. But it's just I think it's nice to share, like we had said before we started, it's all about sharing with our family and the kids and then obviously the friends that we've met in the outdoor world and stuff like that. And it's just nice to know that it's real people doing real stuff and all like-minded people in this amazing community,
Yeah, and I think it's like I said, it's a challenge. Most of my friends my age have school-age children. So I think it'd be nice to find, like I've met a couple, or not met in person, but found a few people who like are in the same situation with like adult kids, but aren't retired people. Because there's a bunch of retired people who do YouTube, but there's kind of not a lot of that place where we're at, where it's older kids, but we're not retired yet.
I'm with you. We're the same way. Like, so obviously we have grown children too. We don't have any grandchildren, and
They're grown, but
no, we
they
don't have any
don't.
grandchildren.
They don't act grown.
We don't have any grandchildren. I said.
I'm talking about my kids.
Oh, but
We
anyway,
got grand dogs.
it's grandpuppies.
You got a
Yeah,
grandpuppy.
yeah, we have 2. But yeah, so but it's the same way. But I think that the more you go out and do something with people, so when we made a point of, we've done some group camps with people before, we've done some, bit of group hiking, and it's been fun to do that and to connect with people. So
Yeah.
I feel like we're up for the little connection, honey.
Sure.
Get in the van.
We're going to jump in the car.
We're gonna jump in our car. That's right. Get our overland trailer and go.
So I threw all your social media contacts in the
Yeah.
chat. So everybody can go check them out and look them up. No using the S word in the chat, please.
Yeah, just go check them out,
know who
everybody.
you are.
Right. It's awesome. So thank you
Thank you.
Thanks for
very
hosting.
much
This was
for
fun.
hanging. Yeah, 100%.
It was a good talk.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
absolutely.
And
We
I
had-
mean, it's gone fast. It always does. It's like
we've been
what?
almost 2 hours.
Holy moly. It's 20. It's 1 hour 40. What?
I know. It's just like
Sometimes, yeah, that's awesome.
it's gone by in a blink of an eye.
It's really good. First,
Well, hopefully we didn't talk too much then.
what?
No, not enough. I could go on and on. I mean, there's other things I can totally ask questions about in regards to other hikes and stuff like that.
Right?
But we might save that for another day.
That's right. And I feel like that we're, again, like-minded people, and we'll probably get to hang out one day together. We'll meet up
Sure.
somewhere, whatever that
We
looks
love
like,
Washington.
So we do love Washington. But
Been
Or
quite
meet
a
up
few
in
places.
Canada eating poutine.
we can do that. We can get out of here.
it.
Oh gosh, very good. So everyone's got them. Great chat tonight. Look at that, beautiful. Well, Will and Lisa, thank you
Thanks.
very, very much.
Thank
Everybody
you.
go-
And thanks everyone in the chat for participating.
Everyone was so, and
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure you just gained a bunch of new friends, so which is beautiful.
That's
Awesome.
great.
So don't go anywhere. I'm going to drop you down. We're going to do a little outro. And yeah,
Sounds good.
again, it was great again.
Oh geez,
Thanks everyone.
thanks again so very, very much. Really.
That was a lot of fun.
That was awesome. And then they showed all the Canadian stuff, and look what happens. Everyone says poutine is awesome.
Of course.
But that said, fun times, all good, great chat tonight, a good couple. I think that's what it's all about. It's
Great
just
couple, man.
sharing all the new people that we get to meet. And thanks to Jason from All Terrain Coffee and Camping. He had to dash already. He had to go get his kids.
Yep.
But thanks for the connection with Will and Lisa and Teddy, the puppy dog. With right? No, he doesn't talk. He's no talking. He's a quiet dog. From the Empty Nest Project. So excited to see what they've got coming up next.
Yeah, y'all. So make sure I'll check them out. I got some really cool vids on hikes and stuff like that. And I'm you know
The
me.
Camino.
I love that Camino.
That's right. So
That's like my jam.
it's going to be awesome to, use some of their stuff for some references as well.
People got water bottles. No, I have a. I got my vino glass in my side.
Nalgene wine glass. We want to thank Mick again for graciously sponsoring and allowing us to ship out some of their amazing products to our backcountry couples that we get to talk with each week.
Every week.
Yeah. So we have one more week to go.
Maybe one more week.
I'm just saying we have another week next week, which is exciting because we've been kind of on and off. But
Too dang much.
I know, but we are on next week. But
But
this Sunday,
no buts.
yeah, there is this Sunday. Keep an eye out for us on Outside Comfort Zone. Snack Box is hosting a fantasy gear under $100.
$100
with hashtag from Tangent Trails, Devin from Salmon Outdoors, and us. Sunday at 7 p.m. It should be fun.
Now is that 7 p.m. Eastern
No,
Standard
it's
Time?
7 p.m.
Central.
No, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure, but I'll put it on our Instagram.
You
and
better
our
be
YouTube.
100% sure.
I'll make sure we're good. But
Good.
anyways, check us out for that for sure. And then also
It'll be
this
fun.
Sunday
It'll be a lot of laughs.
and
Some
bad
really,
jokes.
really bad jokes.
And this Sunday we're gonna wrap up the Picture Rock strip too. So we're gonna try and get that out. All right, everybody.
And when we
Thank
say we,
you.
I mean sure.
Right. But another great show. Another great connection with a good couple. And
couple.
everybody, thanks for hanging out with us and lots of fun.
All right, Cub Scouts.
Yeah.
Y'all be safe out there. Have an excellent weekend. Get out, do more, be more.
Let's do it.
I mean, you know what? I might just one of these days. I'm just gonna go through whoever was in our chat. I'm gonna like memorize all
Everybody's
their
little outros. That's a
things.
good idea. I like that.
It's never goodbye. It's always
See you next time or whatever. That's
see you next time.
But
That's
will.
one of my faves.
But we will see you next time. All right. Thanks again, everybody.
Thanks again, everybody.
All right.
Like I said, be safe. We'll see you all on the next quest. Peace out, Cub Scouts.
All right. Night night.